everyone, how are you doing today? If you're new to my channel, welcome! My name is Karen and I am very happy to have you here today. So lately I've been receiving a lot of comments on my videos and also a lot of messages on my social media from people asking me about my experiences studying in Montreal and what it's like to be there as a foreigner. So today I'm gonna talk about that. Without further ado, let's get to the video. So before I start, I want to quickly tell my story about how I ended up studying in Montreal so that you guys can understand a little bit about my background. So basically, I was born in Montreal, so I am a Canadian citizen and also I have the right to study in Montreal and pay just as a Canadian citizen because I'm a citizen. So, at first I wanted to study in Montreal. I wanted to start university in Montreal, but for a lot of reasons I could not do that. So I had to start university in Mexico City, and I was in a university called Tec de Monterrey. I say that as a foreigner. Tec de Monterrey, which is a very good university in Mexico. It's the best private university in Mexico. So I started university there and I studied there for 2 years, and after that I got a transfer from Tec de Monterrey to Concordia University, which was a university I wanted to be in since the beginning. So that was how I arrived to Montreal, and that is how I started studying at Concordia University. The first thing that I can say that was weird for me about Concordia University, or it was not weird, but it was kind of like a shock for me about Concordia University, is that I had to repeat some courses because I think that if you come from a university that is in Latin America or that is in a language where English is not spoken, you have to repeat some courses. Even if you took the same thing, if you saw the same subjects that you see in that course, you have to repeat it again, because for the school it's not the same to take it in a language and to take it in another one. There are ones that, yeah, you can get the transfer credit, but sometimes you have to repeat them. So I had to repeat some courses, like I think I had to repeat like calculus. No, it was not calculus, it was like trigonometry, something like that. And also I had to repeat economics, which was not that nice because like I hated it in Spanish and I hated it even more in English. So yeah, I just want you guys like to take this into account if you want to transfer to a school in Canada or in Montreal, or if you want to transfer to a school where you don't speak the same language as you currently speak in your university. You may have to redo some courses. If you go as an exchange student, you don't need that, but if you go as a transfer student, yeah, you may need that. The second thing that at first was, I don't want to say weird, but like I was not used to that because in Mexico things are not like that, is that in Montreal, I don't know if in the rest of Canada, because I have just studied in Montreal, but in Montreal there are a lot of campuses. Can I say campuses? Yeah. Well, not campuses, like there are a lot of buildings. So for example, in Mexico, in my university, like all buildings are inside the same campus. Like you have this place and a building is here and another building is here, but it's all in the same space. In Montreal, it's not like that. Like for example, a building is in one street and then like you walk 3 streets and then another building is there. So a lot of buildings are just like sporadically around the city. Normally the majority of buildings are in downtown. For example, in Concordia University, most buildings and most faculties were in downtown. Sometimes it happens that you have all your classes in the downtown buildings, but sometimes it happens that you have classes in the other building that is called Loyola, and that is very far away. But the cool thing is that you have a bus that takes you from the downtown campus to the Loyola campus. So basically you just have to show your ID and that's it. That was pretty cool for me because in my university in Mexico we don't have that, because like as I said, like everything you have it in the same space. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, so if you have a class in a building and then in another building, you have to see where that building is located, because if it's in the other side of the city, then yeah, that's a problem. Because when there's snow, it happened to me that once I took the bus and it was snowing so bad and I arrived late to my class because of the snow. So yeah, I don't know how university campuses are in your country, but if you're used to buildings being sporadically around the city, well, that's not gonna be weird for you. But if you're not, at first it's gonna be weird, but then like you're just gonna get used to that. Please tell me in the comments how your university campus is. I really want to know. One thing I found really cool about Concordia University is that there are loads of international students. I mean, just in Montreal, like Montreal is a very multicultural city, so there are loads of foreigners in Montreal. I think Montreal is the most multicultural city in the world, I think. So that's pretty cool because you meet people from all around the world. Like I had a lot of friends from Canada, from South Korea, from China, from France. It was super nice and I loved it a lot because I got to know about their cultures and about their food, and it was super nice. So that's one of the things that I really liked about Concordia University, that we don't have that much here in Mexico. I mean, at least for example in my university is one of the universities in Mexico that receive the most international people, but still we don't have as many international people as in Concordia University, obviously. Another thing that I found cool and at the same time not cool because I was lazy is that teachers in Concordia University don't take attendance. So basically in Tec de Monterrey, teachers take attendance every single class and you only have 6 absences. So after 6 absences, you just fail. But in Concordia University, it's not like that. I don't know all courses, but at least the ones I took, the teachers don't check attendance. Especially if it's a really big class. The teacher just doesn't take attendance. I mean, if you have 300 students in a classroom, you just don't do that. So it was good because like if you don't go once or twice or 3 times, it's just fine. But the bad thing is that, well, like if you're absent a lot of times, sometimes you get lost, especially if you see math or economics, things like that. If you don't go to a class, like you don't get a lot of information because obviously like the people that were in the class got the topic, and when you go to the next class you just don't understand. And sometimes it would happen to me that I just wouldn't go because I was lazy or just because I didn't want to, and the next class I would be like completely clueless because I didn't know anything. So at some point it's good that in Mexico they force you to go, because like, I mean, sometimes you just don't feel like going. But if you see that there are more consequences, you'll go. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about in this video is exams. So basically, exams are a pretty serious thing, but I've never seen something that serious as in Concordia University. I mean, exams season is a whole other world. I mean, it was overwhelming back in Mexico City. I'm here. It was overwhelming here in Mexico City, but honestly, like, I thought I was used to that stress. No, I was not. At least, like, in Mexico, when you have an exam, like when you have the first exam, you have basically 3 exams. You have like the first term exam, and then like midterm exam, and then you have the final exam. And the first and the midterm, you take it inside the classroom where you take your class. But in finals, obviously you take exams in other classrooms with other people. And I thought that was like, yeah, I mean, I'm used to that. No! Concordia University, you basically just have midterms and finals. So when you do your midterm exam, they give you a schedule and you have to check it, and sometimes they change the classroom, or sometimes you take the exam in another building that it's not your building, that you don't know that building, that you have never been inside that building. It happened to me. I took an exam inside a building that I have never ever been in. I didn't know where it was, and it was so confusing because it was like a freaking never-ending hallway, and I could never find the number. It was so stressing. And also, the exams were so long, and they put like this freaking clock, like it's like the biggest clock I've seen in my life. And it was so stressing because like you're writing your exam, and then like you see the clock and you're like, it's almost time, like I don't have any more time. So yeah, it was very stressing. I think I do prefer exams here in Mexico, in my university in Mexico, than there, because honestly, I've never been more stressed. Like, I'm a person that doesn't normally get stressed out because of exams. I get stressed because of other things, but not because of exams. That was the first time I got super stressed. Like, honestly, it was crazy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful for you. I talked a little bit about my perspective studying as a foreigner in Montreal. Foreigner because I never studied there, so yeah, I had the foreigner perspective. So yeah, if you have any questions, please comment below, and if you want me to do other videos talking about university in Montreal, there are a lot of other points and topics that I didn't talk about, so if you want to know, please ask me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to like and share this video, and also if you want to, you can follow me on my social media that are gonna be appearing at the end of this video. I am sending you loads of love, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!